Hey guys, it's Monica at Academic Phoenix Plus. Welcome back to a tutorial on how to create a Horizon Zero Dawn inspired stylized helmet. So in the previous tutorial, we covered how to model these pieces using Quad Draw, among other tools. And this time we're going to continue by modeling this portion of the helmet and getting this 3D model ready for UV mapping. If you are new to this channel, I post 3D tutorials on a weekly basis. Software includes Maya, ZBrush, and Substance Painter. So if that is your sort of thing, please consider subscribing. So bring out your creativity, open up that software, and let's get started, or let's continue modeling this cool looking helmet. All right, so far we have some pretty cool pieces. I'm excited about getting this textured. So let's model the rest of it. So this part, I've got the side view, and I think it would help me a lot if I had the front view as well. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to create a free image plane, move it over here, open up the attributes, Control A, click on that little folder, and let's grab this, which is the front side of the helmet, which is going to be very helpful. Now I'm going to kind of go over here to my 4 displays, and this is going to be my front. This is going to be my side, so let me rotate this. Take a look at my attributes here and just type in 90 degrees so I can see it on both the front and the back. Now when it comes to alignment, I'm going to have to start working on that, but this is going to be a good start. All right, I'm going to start with a cube. So let's create a cube, and I'm going to align it to the front, and this is actually needs to be scooted back beyond the grid so I can see it. And I'm going to go ahead and place it in the front, and I'm also going to grab this one, and you can see that my cube needs to be in front of the reference plane. All right, so far so good. This is already in X-ray mode, so let's go to shading X-ray so I can see through it, and let's place it along here. Okay, so you can already tell that I'm not aligned. I have to move these, actually, the image plane to the side. There we go. I'll move it here. And move this here too. There we go. Okay, it's looking better. And it's going to be coming with scale. So I'm going to make this pretty small to fit this part, and hopefully that's aligned. Okay, as I go along, maybe I might have to make some adjustments. So again, this is kind of like inspired. All right, I'll make that nook later, but let's start off by going into vertices and just kind of scaling on one dimension, and over here as well. And there is a little bit of a rotation, so I'll just go ahead and get that going. Grab the vertices and just kind of use the silhouette to start working on that. Once I have that, let me go to panels, layout, 3 panels to the left. Okay. That's easier for me. And then panels, orthographic view. Let's go to the front view. Okay, cool. Make sure this is in X-ray mode. Okay, so it's just going to be easier for me to grab things if I can see both perspective and everything like that. All right, this is the top view. Go ahead and do a Control E, extrude, bring this up. All right, so scale in 1 dimension, like so. Maybe lower it down a little bit. And then you can either scale in this direction, or if you want to, you can grab vertices if it gives you a little bit more control. All right, moving on, face, extrude, Control E. There you go, follows the normal. You can scale it. And okay, so here we go with scale. So here, according to my reference image, this is the bottom of the intersection, and that would be along here, and you can see that she's already past that point, so that means that this one needs to be larger. So let me go to object mode, just go ahead and scale. So somewhere around, maybe it's a little too much. Okay, that's going to be better. And then make your adjustments from there. Moving on, grab that face, extrude, go ahead and scale. And this is when things start to change. So we are following here. This is the top of it, and you can see over here that this is the top of it as well. So we're going to need to give ourselves some more mesh. So let's go ahead and shift right click, insert edge, and we can put one right in the middle. And I'm going to grab an edge and just kind of follow the reference. So here's one edge. I'm just following this one here. So the front view still looks the same, but this at least starts following the topology. So what I'm going to do next is go into face mode and delete half of it. And just double check that everything is aligning correctly, which it looks like it is. Cool. Let's extrude, Control E, lift. So I'm going to keep that center divider there. But let's go ahead and grab some vertices. And this is going to be moved back. This needs to come over here. And again, you just kind of use this as reference. Let's grab this one and nudge it over here. If you want to, you can crush these vertices together so that, or scale them, so that they remain flat. It's not really necessary, but it just kind of helps with the topology a little bit. Cool. All right, let's move on. Control E, lift. Again, now I'm just grabbing vertices and just making my adjustments. Oops. Now this isn't exactly perfectly centered, so I'm actually just following this center line. Then I'm going to go over here, and I probably will need more mesh, but right now I'm okay. And I'm probably going to scoot these just a little bit so they can get a little bit of that depth. All right, let's go ahead and continue moving forward. Control E, lift. Grab those vertices and make your adjustments. Again, Control E, we're starting to scale a little back here, so I'm going to grab those vertices and just scoot them to the left here. Maybe a little lower, just so I can get a better arc. I probably have to go back. And then, of course, make your adjustments here. All right. It's a pretty cool looking helmet. I think is it a visor? I don't know. I think it's a helmet. Not sure. All right, it gets really thin along here. Lift. There's a little indentation right there, so I'm going to leave it there. And let's move these a little bit more to the left or to the right. So I'm going to need an edge right along here. So let's go ahead and insert an edge. All right, let's grab both of these faces and extrude up to here. I'm going to extrude that in a second. But first, let me get it to look like this. We can go ahead and grab this one. Whoop, let's make sure we're in faces. Extrude. Again, grab those vertices. Alright, so unfortunately my image plane disappeared over here, but let's go back and focus on this one. Just going to scoot these over to the middle. Do the same thing for this one. And I'm going to have to find some reference of the whole helmet because this one's just giving me a piece. Doesn't look like much, especially since I haven't beveled any edges, but that's okay. Let's grab more faces. Control E. Grab vertices and add some design elements here. It's pretty neat in watching, like, creating this. Control E. Grab these vertices. It's interesting how they designed this. It's really interesting. Control E. And scale. All right, so I found a reference for the side, and you can see that's got an indentation, and this actually arcs. So I want to make sure I add that in there. So let me go back here. And I kind of have that, but not really. So let's grab some vertices and just kind of bring it in, deselect. Arc this one, rotate it slightly, deselect these guys, rotate it some more, push it back. Something like that. Let me try to make it a little smoother. Cool. All right, and then there's this one. Control E. Push that in a little bit. And I will not need any of these interfaces. Let me scale this in a little bit. And I'll mirror it. So let's select those side faces. And I think we have the base. Cool. Let me bevel first. Let's grab some edges. So shift double click. Shift double click and just kind of go through, press F to focus. Oh, not that one. And at the end, you just want to grab the edges that you want to preserve. So I want to preserve that one. I want to preserve this one. Let's take a look at the reference here. Definitely want to preserve these. And I'm just holding down shift and clicking on the edges that I need. Some of these don't really need a sharp edge. All right, let's see. Oh, get rid of that one. I don't need that. And I think that looks pretty good. Hopefully I don't miss anything. Control B for bevel. I'm going to increase my segments to 2. Increase my fractions just because I do want to kind of like a rounded edge. And let's see what that looks like. When you press the number 3. Cool. I would love one edge here to make that a little bit less. Well, actually, that's kind of like the look, isn't it? Take a look at the reference again. It's got an indentation here. And it's definitely one of those things that I will probably model instead of trying to create a normal map out of it. So let's see, where is it in the design? Almost have it here. So let's see if I can change this to 1. And I'm going to just add a couple of edges here. Shift right click, insert edge. And I'm going to add an edge right here. And go to vertices. Just kind of nudge that. Same thing, think of this one. And use the geometry that you currently have to just kind of get that design. Now I am grabbing the ones from the back. No one's going to see that, but just kind of making sure that things are aligning nicely. All right. And I wanted to make this a little bit more arced. So let's add an edge there. Grab those vertices and just kind of give it a little bit more of an arc. Person number 3. All right, neat. I am going to rotate this 90 degrees or 180 degrees. So it's facing forward. And it did pick up some rotation, so let me zero those out. There is a little bit of a pull right there, so we'll see what that looks like when I mirror it. Let's see. Let's make sure that pivot point is... Well, we gotta make sure this is at the center. So press R and then crush it flat. Gonna snap it. So click on the keyboard. Shortcut is D to move that pivot point, and D again. So just snap it to the middle, because what we're gonna do next is mirror. So let's go to Mesh Mirror Options. And to be fair, I usually don't remember which ways I'm supposed to click. So I usually just click Apply, and it gives me this little option, and this is when I get to play around with it. So right now it's X negative, maybe it's X positive. No. Maybe it's Y. Y positive, and again, no. Oh, it thinks it's using world space, so let's change this to object space. There we go, that's better. So definitely not Y. Let's go back to X. Okay, so X was correct in the first place. All right, let me see how this looks like. So, all right. And that looks good. Okay, looks like I have an indentation, and here looks like it goes all the way to the top. Here, it's just here. So, very interesting. It's hard to see in the reference. Just gonna do an educated guess here. I'm just scaling it. Let's flip this around. And these edges are really sticking out, and they're more caved in. So I'm just going to move them in. Same thing for this one. That should be more in. The nice thing about 3D, you can always fix it. All right. Let's kind of, all right. And these I'm not too worried about because I am going to extrude inward, but I still should maybe straighten them out. So let's crush them, rotate them slightly, and then bring it in a little bit. Because next is to grab faces. So let's grab some faces. And we're going to extrude inward. world space. It's going to scale a little bit at the top. And let's see what that looks like. It's a little softer at the top. Let's just kind of spread these out a little bit. There we go. And I'm thinking about deleting these. So Control Delete. And then grabbing these guys here. I'm going to bevel those. Missed one. Control B. Give yourself a fragment of 3, and let's see if that looks a little better. There we go. That looks way better. I'm much happier with that. Which reminds me with this one. This one also needs to be fixed. Ooh, wow. I messed up the... Must have not grabbed something there. Let's go ahead and use the multi-cut. So shift right click multi-cut, and we can go from here to here. Press enter, and then we can also go across. So this is an easy fix. I got worried there for a second. I was like, whoa, what did I do? But no, this is an easy fix. So we're going to go across, and then across again. That should look a little cleaner, except for this part here. So let me get out of that tool and bring that in. All right, cool. This could be improved, but in general, that's looking pretty nice. Don't forget to save. Okay, next is the next piece, which is along here, and it's going to be a very similar concept, which making sure the scale is the same. So this is the side. So we want to grab vertices and basically align it. Press Q if the manipulator gets in the way. And this is the front. So same thing for this one. And this is the front. So that's going to give us the base. Now here we haven't really placed it correctly. So let me go ahead and do that. And it looks like there's already a little bit of movement here. So that should get me started. All right, I definitely want these to be inside the mesh, right? So something like that. And I probably don't need this interface, so I'm going to go ahead and delete it. All right, now that I have this, let's go ahead and extrude, Control E, lift. I'm going to move it. Take a look at my vertices here and just make sure that they align with my reference image, which they are. After a little tweaking, then extrude again. Gonna go ahead and move that here. Again, I'm looking at the front view. Now I'm looking at the side view. These are the vertices that go to the back. This one's the side, and that looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and extrude again. Control E, lift. Grab those vertices. So this is why it's important to have reference images, because it really does help guide our object. All right, that's looking all right. Okay, moving on. Again, Control E for extrude. Whoop. Doesn't require too much tweaking here. And then one more time. undo. Let me get out of object mode, and just because I accidentally, if you hear a purring and a meowing, it's because my cat's on my lap. So he wants attention. All right, Control E. You can sense it that I'm working, and he's like, you know what? You should be paying attention to me. That's more important. That's what I think he's thinking. But no, I've been working all day, so he just wants a little bit of love. All right, so my reference image is not perfect. You can see that it ends here and over here as well. So definitely need some work on that, but that's okay. I'm just going to follow the front reference. So let's go ahead and move this down, because according to the design, this one should just basically fall along here. All right, let's go to object mode. So this one was way easier than the other one. Thank goodness, it's a small detail. And now we're ready for some edges. So make sure you select your edges, the ones that you want beveled, so that they preserve the edges. And that looks pretty good. So Control B, increase my segments. And again, you can play around with the fraction. Press the number 3, and there you go. Looks pretty cool. I'm gonna nudge it a little bit so it intersects. And dang, that's fun. 3D is awesome. All right, now to fit it on my character. All that work to scale it down. Let me group it together, center the pivot, so Control G, and let's bring it in so that it fits my character. So again, it's pretty stylized. Well, my character's stylized. Let's see if I can get it to look similar. Okay, now I have 2 cats and they're starting to fight. Okay, come on, boys. Come on. All right. No step on my keyboard. Kids and cats, everybody. That's my life. Definitely, it's awesome. Actually, I'm not complaining. It's awesome. All right. I think that's pretty good, except I've lost. This has to stick out a little bit more. And according to this, it actually touches the tip of her nose. It does. So let's see if I can scale it up so that it touches the tip of her nose. Like so. And then this one is basically around here, which actually relatively matches. So this one's sticking in. So let me make some adjustments here. Might have to finagle a couple of things. Let's see if I can rotate this one a little bit more. And maybe rotate this one. All right, something like so. I'm gonna scale this down a little bit. This is right there. So that's pretty as close as I think I'm gonna get. It's kind of neat. It's just fun. It's so much fun. All right, fun. All right, let's grab these guys here. Let me grab these. I'm gonna group these as well. I'm gonna duplicate it. And I am going to change the scale to -1. And there we go. That's really cool. All right. Let's grab everything except for, just grab all the helmet pieces. Let's center the pivot, delete the history, freeze the transformations. I am going to go ahead and group it all together. This gives me 3 emptied groups. Let's go ahead and delete those. And I'm just going to call this the helmet. All right. So next is going to be UV mapping and quickly adding these little elements here But in general, this is ready to go. My character looks so cool. I can't wait to texture it and bring it back in. It's gonna be fun. So, but first we got a UV map. Cool. Well, I hope you learned something. Hope you got a tip or two on how to 3D model something complicated like this helmet piece from Horizon Zero Dawn. It was super fun to model. Can't wait to UV map it and texture it, which is next. So we're gonna be UV mapping it in Maya and then bringing it into Substance Painter for texturing. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you taking the time to explore this really fun helmet from Horizon Zero Dawn. If you learned a thing or two, please like and subscribe if you haven't done so already, because that is your message to me, letting me know that you like this content and that you want to see more. I'd love to hear your thoughts as well. So if you want to leave a comment below, that would be amazing. I like hearing what your thoughts are and what you think about the game. What do you think about the characters? What do you think about the costumes? Just let me know. I do read the comments. I might not be able to respond to everybody, but I do love reading your comments. So I appreciate you leaving the comments. When you get the chance, take a look at academicphoenixplus.com. That is my website to you with a variety of things, including free ebooks, free 3D models, reference images, and so much more. And when you get also take a look at my e-courses, there you can find videos on a deep dive into Maya, including modeling, UV mapping, and texturing and lighting. So if you can purchase a course or two, that would be amazing. That is another wonderful way that you can support me, so I can continue creating these type of content. So again, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Keep creating, and I will see you next time when we start UV mapping this really crazy, fantastic looking helmet.